Welcome back to Sports Showtime, everybody. Well, it's Thursday afternoon, and that means it's time for your weekend preview. Starting off at the PMAC, the men's basketball team will be taking on their third straight SEC West opponent when Ole Miss rolls into town on Saturday. The team is coming off their most recent double overtime win to Mississippi State last night. For more analysis on the game this weekend, we now kick it over to Sports Showtime's basketball expert, Tim Zimmer.
Thanks, Hobie. With the Tigers having to use everyone on their team to pull off the victory, I think the Tigers may have some trouble this Saturday against Ole Miss. Now, LSU did go into Oxford earlier this season and blow the Rebels out of their own gym, but I can see this game being a little closer. Fatigue may be a big factor coming off 2 days' rest. Mississippi State exposed the Tigers' inside game by driving the ball to the basket every possession. If the Rebels use the same game plan, then LSU may be in for another free throw shootout. Another factor is Bo Spencer. He sprained his ankle Wednesday night, so he may not be available this weekend. The Tigers will be playing on Valentine's Day, so don't be surprised if the Tigers come out heartbroken. Although the Tigers are 16-1 at home, the Tigers win another close one. Now back over to Hobie for the rest of your weekend preview.
All right, well, thanks for that analysis, Tim. Well, the softball team broke in the new Tiger Park on Wednesday, and that welcoming ceremony will continue into the weekend with the Easton Tiger Classic. The ladies will kick off the weekend on Friday at 6 when they take the field against Ohio State. Then on Saturday, they will take on number 5 Texas A&M and Sam Houston State. The Tigers will wrap up play on Sunday when they head into bracket play. Now, the softball team may think that diamonds are a girl's best friend, but the ladies of the gymnastics team are looking to be perfect 10s this weekend, heading into Tuscaloosa to take on 5th-ranked Alabama. Their most recent win came at home against 8th-ranked Florida last weekend and carried the 11th-ranked Lady Tigers to 2-2 in the SEC. The ladies will be hitting the mats at 7:30 on Friday night. Well, from the mat to the track, the indoor track and field team will be in action as well this Friday and Saturday in the Tyson Invitational in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The Tigers are returning from the New Balance Invitational that was held in New York last weekend. LSU's Trenton Holiday burned the track in the meet, tying Justin Gatlin's 60-meter dash time of 6.56 seconds, which we'll go ahead and do the math for you, is under 33 feet a second. The team will be heading into action starting at 10 a.m. on Friday. And finally, the women's basketball team will be taking on the 8th-ranked Florida Gators in the team's pink game to promote breast cancer awareness. The team will be taking the floor Sunday at noon. And for more on the game, we now kick it over to Brian with a special guest in the Coach's Corner.
All right, thanks, Hobie. I'm now joined by longtime women's basketball assistant coach Bob Starkey to talk about the team's upcoming game against Florida. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. All right, my first question for you. We know our basketball team is really, really young, and they're facing the number 9 ranked Florida Gators this week. As a coach and in practice, what have you seen as far as progression from week to week?
Well, I think what we're looking for is to extend our consistency. I mean, we started out early in the year and we put together maybe 15 to 20 minutes of good play. Then we decreased that to maybe 25 minutes. And what we're talking to them about now is to try and put that 40-minute game together. And as we continue in the SEC, we're playing experienced teams. For instance, Florida's going to bring in 4 seniors and 3 juniors, and we're probably going to start 4 first-year players. So I think they're handling everything very well. You know, we continue to have a winning record in the SEC, and if we'll just come to practice every day and work on getting better and then try to expand that to the games, I think we'll continue to improve.
All right, now this Sunday is the 13th annual Pack the PMAC game, and it's also the breast cancer awareness game. What special meaning does this game have for you and your family?
Well, for me personally, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer a little over a year ago and has went through chemotherapy and radiation, and through that journey we've got to meet so many people and learn so much about breast cancer. For instance, the statistics tell you that 1 in 7 females will have breast cancer. So I'm coaching a women's basketball team. There's a chance that one of those 12 young ladies at one time will have to fight breast cancer. We had a student worker in our athletic department, 22 years old, that had breast cancer last year. So it's a very non-discriminatory disease, and so for us to go out and play this basketball game and to have some fundraising opportunities to help find cures or to be in such a category that we can help with education and awareness makes it a whole lot more than just a basketball game.
All right, Coach, one of the main things you mentioned was the fundraising opportunity. Now, the LSU women's basketball team donating $2 to the Baton Rouge Cancer Fund for every student present. What are you and your wife doing special for the donation part of the game, sir?
Well, we want to be involved with the students as well. The students have been a really big supporter of Lady Tiger basketball, and they've gotten really involved in some great causes. I spent some time in the fraternities and sororities this week. what we're going to do is my wife and I, we're going to donate 50 cents for every student that attends the game, and that's going to go to the KEL Foundation, who was an outstanding women's basketball coach at North Carolina State who battled breast cancer for a little over 2 decades until she passed away 2 weeks ago, and that's part of the Jimmy V Foundation as well.
Okay, Coach. At the end of 2 seasons ago, you had a chance to probably change from an interim job to a head coaching job. Do you think you'll be on the assistant coach bench for a while? Do you think you'll ever move up and be a head coach somewhere?
Well, I would never say never, but I very, very much enjoy the role of being the assistant coach. You know, the role of the head coach has changed a lot over the decade with technology, and there's so much press conference and paperwork. And as assistant coach, I get to do the things I enjoy, which is break down tape and coach players at practice every day. So I really enjoy that role. So right now, I'm going to be satisfied with that.
All right, Coach. Well, I'm going to try to get all my friends out because I know this whole breast cancer thing is a really, really big deal, really important. And I think the students should really get out. Because $2 a student plus the 50 cents that you're doing, it's $2.50 per every student. I mean, you think the students are gonna hear this and get out there real quick?
Oh, I think so. I think LSU students always respond to a great cause. And like I said, I think so many people have been touched by breast cancer. Your mother, your sister, a daughter. So I think it's a great opportunity for them to come out. They don't have to pay to get in. Just show their ID at the game, and then $2.50 on their name is going to go to the bucket, and I think we'll raise a lot of money. I think they'll feel good about it, and they're going to see a great basketball game that, by the way, will be nationally televised as well. All
right, Coach. Well, thanks for being on the show. We look forward to seeing everybody Sunday in the PMAC at noon. All right, well, it's time for another commercial break, but when we come back, we'll sit in the forum and talk Tiger basketball and more. Stay tuned. You're watching Sports Showtime on Tiger TV.